welcome back to one of a kind legal talk show, Law Talkie. I am Damini, your host for today, and we have with us Advocate Pallavi Pratap, who is advocate on record in Supreme Court of India, and she practices in Supreme Court, various high courts, and tribunals such as NCLT, NCLAT, CAT, and NGT. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Damini, for having me here. It's indeed a pleasure being
Thank
here
you so
with you.
much, ma'am. So I won't introduce you with everyone. I want you to tell us something about you, your experience, your college life.
All right, so I've actually had a very different, educational background in terms of. I actually did my MBA in finance from Australia, which was in Melbourne, and I did a research which was in France, which was primarily into performance measurement system of small and medium-sized enterprises. And law was not really there on the horizon anywhere. I came back. I started my career. Did a couple of projects for UNDP, which was primarily into microinsurance policies, where the government had come up with these microinsurance policies, and my role was to ensure that capacity building was done of women who were from self-help groups in 3 of the most backward districts of Uttar Pradesh. So I trained about 1,500 odd women at that point in time. Then I switched into investment banking. I was an AVP when I actually left my position then. I was married while at that point in time. So there were some personal issues as a result of which I thought that it is important that, I need to take a break. Then while I was on a break, let me just rewind a bit. I'd done my law but that was not something that I thought that I will take up as a career. And that was primarily because I was actually preparing for my civil services examination, just like anybody else does. By the way, I'm going to be 40 very soon. So because if you're looking at the timeline, you must be thinking, "Ye aise kaise hua ye to kuch confusion ho raha hai." So yeah, it's been a very it's been quite some time that I've been working also. So anyway, so law I had done just because I was preparing for civils, and I thought that having a professional degree will help, and also probably I would go ahead and write for my judicial services examination. Being a litigating lawyer was not really on the horizon anywhere. I mean, दूर दूर तक मुझे नहीं लगता था कि मैं कभी वकील बनूंगी, So I started off, and so while I was on this break, I thought that let me just try and see if I can do it. And I started to go to Supreme Court. I was a junior counsel on State of UP panel at that point in time, and so when I started. The initial, I think, 1.5 years, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing there. A lot of my friends from that time will actually vouch for it also. But, when I was actually making this transition into law, my mother had told me that now that you're making this transition, I hope you stick to it and you do not leave it. Because she thought that, I was taking a huge step. Leaving a good investment banking career and going into the field of litigation, which of course, it's extremely saturated. And for a first generational lawyer, it is difficult to establish their own firm, their own practice. So, we all, I think we all know what the struggle looks like. So I said, no, mom, that's not going to happen really. But so I made that shift, and then 2016, I took my AOR examination. I cleared it, and I became AOR in 2017. That's when I became independent, and I started to take independent matters. I completely started to do independent practice then. It's only last year that I launched my own law firm, which is by the name of Pratap and Company. and God has been kind so far. We've done really good for ourselves. It's a small team that we have,
Okay.
but probably if it was not so much of a COVID pandemic time, I'm sure we would have actually increased the team size also by now. But having said that, I think we've faced a lot of challenges in the past 7-8 months. But I think all of you and all of us who are doing whatever it is that we are doing right now to ensure that we are engaged, we are learning, we are moving forward, I think that's all commendable. Nobody in this world would have ever imagined that we will be in times like today. So I think every one of us, I mean, if you started Law Talkie, I believe that, this is an idea that came to you because you had some time to think about innovation. I think while we were all in our lives, in our profession, we did not have time enough to think about innovating or coming up with creative ideas. So I think even though pandemic has not really been the best of it, there were certain opportunities which I see that a lot of people have picked up. So
Exactly.
yeah, so that's, I don't know, that's quite a bit about
Okay.
me.
So, ma'am, you are graduated from which college?
I graduated from Jesus and Mary College in Delhi University.
Okay.
I did my history honors and I did my law from Lucknow University. It was a 3-year
So,
course.
like, please tell us something about your college life. Like, how was that experience?
Nothing. I used most of the time I was only preparing for civil services, so it was not really
Oh, you were
itna
kind
zyada mera koi padhai vadhai wala nahi tha. It was only that, I'm telling you, 22 question paper series आता था, मैं उसी से पढ़ के exam देके आती थी. Because my entire focus was only on civils at that point in time,
Okay.
and this was just a backup that I had thought. So if you ask me about how was college and things like that, actually I would be able to tell you more about my MBA or graduation. But that was the time, those 3 years, when I was actually just studying, and so there was not too much that I did actually.
Oh, you were a studious kind of a person or what?
Oh, always, unfortunately, even now.
Oh. So, like, people used
Yeah.
to call you, na, कि वही किताब में घुसे रहो. So, were you that kind of
No,
person?
no, not even that kind of a studious person. I was like, the thing was that my mother, she's an MSc in botany, and she was the one who had instilled in us this habit of getting up early in the morning. My father too. As a family, we are one of those families जो नहीं सुबह सुबह उठ जाते हैं और तांडव करने लगते हैं.
मैम आप भी
4:55 o'clock हमारे घर में सब खड़े हो.
आप भी वही मानते थे कि सुबह जो पढ़ते हैं वो ज्यादा याद रहता है, मतलब पूरे दिन याद रहता है, तो आपका भी वही था?
Even now, till date, हमारी family में everybody is up by 4:30, 5 o'clock, and everybody is studying. Even now, we are all old now. I'm 40, but if there is a matter which needs to be done, or if there is a judgment that I want to read, or and I have also realized that this I've started to notice of late is, and I don't know about others, but I've started to experience that when I've had a good night's sleep and I get up in the morning, and if there is anything that was bothering me the previous day, suddenly the solution to that problem just comes like a nirvana. I don't know, maybe it's God or something, but it just happens. And sometimes I'm very surprised, or otherwise I'll have this thing about what could go wrong in something that I'm doing. And these things, so it's a very interesting thing that I've started to observe. I think it's just that because you've rested for a period and
Exactly.
your brain is actually working, so you're able to understand and grasp things better.
Yes, ma'am. That's good to know. So even I want you to tell viewers, especially the law students, to take proper rest. They need to sleep actually.
Oh, absolutely. I even till date, I if I don't sleep 7 to 8 hours, I'm an early sleeper, by the way. I sleep by 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Really to bimari. So
That,
I can't, if somebody asks me to stay awake after 10 o'clock, no, literally I have to keep my eyes like this in order to
wow.
do it. But now, of course, being in the profession, it has
And the
been
schedule is
difficult.
such, na, like students have to like do their assignments and all that, because of which they are not taking proper rest and all this, na. So what is your advice for them?
ज़्यादा उससे I doubt कि इतना assignment का pressure होता है. I think most of the time they are all on phone and social media, and that's where the time management actually goes astray.
Exactly.
And it's not just students. I think it goes for all of us also. So many times we, you will take something lightly and then suddenly it will come and bite us in the wrong place. So you can't really do too much about it. But I think that has also got something to do with, Damini, for instance, you basically all of us are running behind things. We want to finish this, we want to finish that.
Exactly.
We have to keep ourselves busy, and because of that, we forget to take rest. And then what happens is that one day your body will just give up, and you don't feel like doing it, and then you feel that procrastinating is the right way because your body demands that rest. So it's not that I don't think inherently people are procrastinating or being lazy. I think inherently they all want to do, because especially anybody who's chosen to come into the field of law would understand that it's going to be a difficult task. But I feel that, because we are putting in so much effort, and I think there's so much pressure also that law students, I mean, if as professionals we face so much pressure, I'm sure law students must be facing so much more. You have to look at internship, you're looking at somebody else doing a better internship, you're looking at someone else. I mean, somebody was telling me the other day, I was on in a webinar, that there were students who had done some 8 internships during the lockdown. So
Oh.
I was only thinking that how is it that 8 internships? So that means that you've been doing, and these are all virtual or online internships. So it's I understand that you want to do so much more, but I doubt that there is so much learning that one can have from virtual internship mode, at this stage, because I also have certain interns, and I myself feel guilty that I'm not able to give so much time at this moment.
So,
Yes.
ma'am, as just you said, like this pandemic has put all the work to, research work to a halt. But still, virtual internship has emerged out as a backup option. You can say a backup kind of option. So, like, how you are dealing with this kind of thing, and how is your firm, being actively engaged on it? Like, is your
So
firm?
what I'm doing is, right now, Damini, in the firm, we are only engaging. We typically have only one intern these days, um, on month basis. So every month, so typically we can keep writing in, and every month we engage someone for 1 month period. And uh, the trouble is that when they are in the office, I end up, um, so since I'm crossing, or I know that somebody is sitting there, and I can see that probably Facebook is open, so I realize that अच्छा ये कुछ और चल रहा है यहाँ पे, so I need to give him some work. But now, of course, but touch with the interns that I've had so far, they've been brilliant in terms of the virtual internship. They've been brilliant. They've put in a lot of effort, but it's just that I lack in that sense to be able to monitor them well, or provide them that knowledge that they probably want, and that is the reason why they've actually come to my chamber also. So that I think is a little bit of a sad part just now.
So, ma'am, लगे हाथ तो ये भी पूछ लेते हैं. So, what is the procedure like? What is the procedure like people should follow?
So typically, so what I've seen is typically a lot of people just send me an email, which is on my email ID pallavi.pratap@pratapandcompany.com, and I go through it, and I mostly tell everybody that so like just now we've already got interns up until March, since I only take one intern. So up until March it is already there. It is only post that I'll be looking at. So I get काफी applications आते हैं. Unfortunately, कई बारी I'm being very honest, I'm not able to even skim through all of that. But my focus is, and this may sound a little bad also, but I try and you know I try and focus more on students who come from tier 2 colleges, because I feel that people who are from NLU, of course, would not be. Mine is a very small firm, so they would probably not be applying also. but there are quite a few applications that I get from NLU. But they always have a better option which is available to them, or all the big law firms are definitely looking at engaging them. Tier 1 colleges, typically, I think the students are always able to get very good internships from good places. But I always focus on Tier 2 colleges because I feel that, those students are never the ones who are able to get that opportunity. I also come from a Tier 2 college only. I mean, Lucknow University, I'm talking about the university part and not really the NLU Lucknow that way. So, of course, this is a problem that all of us has faced. So I try and encourage that in the firm.
That's
Even
good.
my associates also have been from Tier 2 colleges mostly.
Okay, that's good to know, ma'am. So basically, ma'am, moving forward, we have a series of rapid fire game. So I would
Hi,
like
hi.
I would like to play with you.
Your question.
So what
You
I
may want to change your questions now, considering you know all law.
so what I'll be doing, I'll asking you the questions and quickly you need to answer them. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So, ma'am,
yes,
I'm
yes.
just
I'm
asking.
happy that you've got this coffee with Karan. I hope I get a coffee hamper also, by the way, at the end of it. No?
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Okay. So, ma'am, what was your attendance in college? Just tell the exact number of percentage if you remember.
I don't remember. It was about 60% only. It was not like 100%.
But you just
Uh,
told me that you were studious in all.
because I had to study.
Okay, okay,
No,
okay.
I'm talking about my law college. If you ask me about the graduation or this thing, it must have been 80-85% or more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, who was the professor who used to cut your attendance even if you just don't talk?
No, I don't remember actually, none of them. Attendance there, I should not be saying this because this is getting recorded, but typically, you know how the attendance used to be marked. So not really,
Yeah, you were like every
the
time you
teacher,
were
the professor was never concerned about all of that.
okay. Okay. So the worst punishment you got, the worst one.
Was punishment.
Ma'am, just be honest, huh?
No,
Just
I think that happens every day. Every day, the worst
no,
punishment
ma'am.
comes if
You
you're
know,
arguing
worst
before the
one.
judge. I'm telling you honestly, when you are arguing before a judge, the judge, if not every day, every few days, you will realize that the judge will go ahead and say something which is like a punishment only. When if he's dismissing I think our profession typically becomes like that, where you
Exactly.
are certain you're basically either rewarded or punished on a daily basis.
No, but
So yeah,
uh,
that is
some punishments are like सच की पूरी जिंदगी याद रहती है कि यार मेरे को ना एक बार ऐसी punishment मिली थी. So I just want to hear that one.
I was a good girl back then. No, no punishment really. I was a very simple
Okay, okay.
person. No, कोई मुझे कुछ कहता ही नहीं था. I could be invisible for all that matters.
Yeah. So the best experience till now.
Best experience was when I cleared my AOR, and definitely when I opened my own law firm, and I just got 40 under 40 awards. So I think that also definitely counts to be one of the best.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty what do you call it? The way things are moving, I'm really happy that God has been so kind, touch wood, and people have been absolutely amazing in that sense.
That's great.
Also, I remember that when I'd taken the entrance examination for law, I had come second in the entire state at that point, and Lucknow University used to have that kind of a thing. So I think that was for the first time and then I was given a scholarship because I had come second and I was the topper as far as women were concerned. So they'd given me the scholarship, and I had very respectfully declined, saying that I can actually afford my fees, but you must give it to someone who um, could actually clear it. So
That's good.
that's about it.
So the worst experience, that was your best experience, right? Now the worst experience.
Worst experiences, a lot of times these things actually keep happening. They are in life. I cannot really simply point out to a single worst experience because I've had too many. I think I don't even remember how many of them they've been. But the only thing I want to say here is that you will always, so you know that saying that goes that you feel that you are actually going through your darkest phase, but you never know that it is just the tunnel and there is some light which is going to come out of it at the end of it. I am a living example of a lot of things which have gone wrong in my life, and I've always seen that God has rewarded me with double the happiness that I would have never imagined. So just don't, so for all the students who are probably watching it, never think that that is the end of things. Life is always going to turn around and be much more prettier than you would ever imagine.
So, ma'am, the best internship you did, the best internship.
I best internship I did, like I said, it was not इतना ज़्यादा अच्छा type का internship नहीं था, but I can tell you about the best interns that I've had, and I think it was last year we had this summer holiday ka vacation was going on, and I had some 5 interns who'd come, and a lot of them were girls, and we had just a lot of blast because all of these. So I had associates also who were girls, and these interns also who joined, and I think 1 or 2 boys were there, and that's about it. तो बेचारे हमेशा मतलब they used to feel miserably left out sometimes. But with the girls, we actually I at least felt we had a lot of fun. There was a lot of heated conversations that would happen in terms of ideologies and all of that, but it was good fun. Yeah.
That's great, ma'am. So, your mentor, who is your mentor, ma'am?
Not actually, not really one person who could be said that that person is a mentor, but Mr. Rao definitely motivated, PP Rao sir definitely motivated me a lot. Even now, Meenakshi Arora ma'am, she's a senior advocate. She really helps me a lot. I had other advocates with whom I had worked, who were AORs, and I think they gave me a lot of opportunities to do. Even now, I think, you know, it is not important that we should have a person who's a mentor and who's teaching us or training us on a day-to-day basis. I feel so many times, and unfortunately for a lot of law students who are there, who are not able to attend courts and not able to see the functioning of courts, I think that is a really sad part, because a lot of times it is like being eklavya and thinking that that person is a dronacharya. So if you're looking at some senior advocate like Mr. Salve or Mr. Subham arguing, he's not your mentor, but he's teaching you in so many ways when he is arguing. So I think that that is definitely something that all unfortunately current times law students are not able to do that.
Your area of expertise, ma'am.
So right now, as a firm, we are looking at primarily. So of course, I practice in Supreme Court and High Court mostly. So we are looking at appeal side most of the time. We've got criminal matters and civil matters. But personally, I like insolvency and company law matters, which is something that because of my MBA background, it kind of really is something that I enjoy. ADR, definitely, we're doing some very prominent arbitrations just now, which I think it's a huge learning experience for me also and the team. Then I kind of like matrimonial cases also, but mostly in Supreme Court, not really in the lower court, because I think that is one area where I see a lot of challenges can be overcome through mediation. And so if a matter comes to Supreme Court, I typically try and have a mediation, and we've had nearly 60 or 70% of our personal matters settled through mediation. In terms of anybody who's come to us as a client, we've always tried and get them to do mediation, and we've been very successful. So I think that really that gives me joy to see that a couple who can probably not be together are at least parting ways on good terms instead of making it as murky as possible.
Okay. So, ma'am, if you are given a chance to change your profession, okay, so what would be that?
I think it would be investment banking only. I used to love corporate life.
Okay.
It was really nice. Yeah,
So
it was a good.
lawyer is equal to what?
I think they are the ones who are crusaders of justice. No matter what people will say that, as lawyers, you're basically charging money and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're double crossing. I don't know what shit people say these days about lawyers. Unfortunately, no. I think ours is a very dignified profession. We put in a lot of effort. We study a lot. We put in a lot of hard work, and we should be given the respect that this profession deserves. And even if they are showing in movies and places like that in a very bad light, I think that's not called for.
Exactly that.
Lawyers are amazing people. We are doing, I mean, look at you guys, you're law students and you're still, or other people who are law students, look at the kind of scholarship that they have. I read some certain articles of these third year, fourth year students, and I feel that they are definitely going to be some very good lawyers because they have that clarity, and they are not afraid to write about contentious topics. Probably I will be afraid to talk about it, but people are writing about it, and these are all young law students. So I think that's really amazing. Yeah.
Just to tell you, ma'am, I am in Bennett University and I am also studying on 100%
Okay.
scholarship.
Oh, congratulations, Damini. That's really amazing. So if once you stop the recording, I will actually talk to you later
Yeah,
also.
ma'am, sure, ma'am, sure. So, ma'am, next question is, like, if you are given the chair of Chief Justice of India, what would you do?
I will not take it, please. I'm sorry. I am not going to take any such posts. No, I don't think I want to do
That's
anything.
the kind of
But
answer.
in the event that I actually decide to take it, then the first thing I think I will do is uh, I will streamline a lot of processes which are not right with the judicial system just now. I feel I will probably have some manner in which we can expedite the processes. I will definitely do something about a number of limit as far as adjournments can be taken. So I am all for that. I am not going to,
Okay.
I will come up with some stupid law where I will tell them that no adjournments is ज़्यादा एक case में कोई नहीं ले सकता. Simple as that.
So, the last question for this rapid fire round is, if you are given a chance to amend any provision, what would that be? And you need to give me a reason for that.
In law,
Yes.
okay. I think there are quite a few provisions that I would want to change. As of now, I would definitely want the IBC insolvency and bankruptcy threshold to be taken back to 1 lakh rupees instead of 1 crore that it is just now. Second, I would definitely want harsher punishment for rape accused persons. And also, I think, are you able to hear me also? I think
Yes,
something
ma'am. Yes,
happened.
ma'am.
All right. So, and there are quite a few areas where I feel that, a lot of changes are required, which is not happening just now. I will definitely look at Domestic Violence Act and make it a time-bound process instead of how it is just now.
So, ma'am, that was just the rapid fire round. You told me that you are a first generation lawyer, right? So, any advice or suggestion you want to give to other first generation law students who are going to be the lawyers and who will be the first
Right.
generation ones? So, what advice?
So I think I would suggest that a law student should decide while they are in college as to whether they want to go into corporate or litigation. This is, I think, very important. They should not think that, I'm going to try this and I'm going to try that. Even though I'm the last person, I mean, in terms of looking at my life history, I'm the kind of person who's experimented a lot. But I think that luck also has a fair bit to deal with that. And if I would have, given a chance of maybe living my life again, I would probably have continued with law. But and this is a question I put to myself so many times, and I realized that where I am just now, maybe that was because I had seen so much in life and I had gone through a lot of problems to reach where I am just now, because maybe I've taken it seriously because of all those problems or the experiences that I gained as a result of those problems. But something that probably right out of college, maybe I would have never understood the relevance or maybe It could have been a very different path. I would not know. My message to all the first generational lawyers is that one, decide on whether you want to be into corporate or you want to be into litigation, because it's important, or you want to go into GC. I mean, it is totally up to you, but be very clear about it. Because I think the 5 years that you do internship, you kind of get to know exactly which is the field that is for you. So instead of wasting your time after college, it's best that you realize it while you're doing your internships. Second, never give up. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. But it is not that, you have to, don't be on a wrong path and keep doing it. I mean, you just have to realize which is the right path and then move forward with it. And it's going to be difficult. And I think I was reading, I think a couple of days back when the NCLAT or one of the results had come, and I realized that there are going to be at least 5 lakh lawyers who will be out every year. So that was a good, it was quite threatening in that sense. But if there are going to be 5 lakh lawyers, then you also have to see which is the best direction to move forward in. Because the competition is going to only become stringent, and the competition is very difficult for all of us. So it is important that just realize what you have to do. Keep networking. A lot of networking is required in this profession. Never feel scared to say something in terms of when you know it is right, but always know how to say the truth, because you can say it very blatantly also, and you can say it in a manner that the truth doesn't really sound that harsh. That's about it.
That's great, ma'am. So, like, I always ask this question to everyone. Like, you also have your area of expertise, but like, is there any suggestion or advice? Like, if I ask you, I personally wanted to ask you, like, how should I decide, like, what should be my area of expertise, or how should I proceed with that?
If I tell you the honest answer, Damini, I have absolutely no area of expertise. I have probably, I've never, so this was Mr. Rao's suggestion, that never say no to any matter that comes to you. And I actually never said no to any matter, even if it was a small notice that came, I would do it. And it was primarily because when you have a vast type of matters which are coming in, you learn so much about so many varieties of law. That is one. Secondly, law is what? It is about interpretation, it is about execution. So when you know how to read a specific act and you can see the implementation of it, you can see the application of that law, then I don't think that you as lawyers, we really require to specialize in that sense. And I think when you start practicing, then you automatically develop interest in certain specific areas. Like for instance, insolvency is a law which has come very recently in 2016. Now, when it came, I had absolutely no understanding of insolvency and bankruptcy. But I realized that a lot of people were talking about it. I think it was 2017 that I got to know also that, this is an area where we can do a lot of work and we can actually make good money also. And then I realized that this is a new area, but I have no experience. So I started to teach myself in terms of, I would go to NCLAT and watch what is happening. I would go to NCLT. I attended a lot of conferences which were happening on insolvency, and it was more of a self-taught process than anything else. I think you will just get to know. And when I learned about insolvency, I realized this is something that I actually enjoy. So, and later on, of course, it's been what, nearly 10 years now. Now I realize that, I basically enjoy the corporate side of work and criminal law. Criminal law is something that I'm extremely passionate about. So these are two areas which I really enjoy. So, but that developed over a period of time when I kept doing matters. So Dami, I will say that keep your mind open. And also, I have always believed in the fact that you don't have, that people say that, jack of all and master of none. I have firmly believed that you have to be jack of all. You don't have to be master of anything. It is, at least in our profession, I have firmly believed that. I may be wrong, I don't know, but so far it's worked for me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was like indeed a wonderful session with you. But like nowadays, we are just watching you on LinkedIn. Like you're very active. Every day you are just posting any kind of update or legal content. But like this question is somewhat like out of context. Like were you active like during your college days also? Like you were always active to
सोशल
deliberate.
मीडिया था ही नहीं आई कम फ्रॉम अ वेरी ओल्ड जनरेशन हमारे पास उस वक्त फेसबुक नहीं था आई थिंक ऑर्कुट ओनली केम इन आई थिंक 2006 2007 by the time I got married in 2008 I remember my Facebook profile was made in 2009 because it still shows
Okay.
since some 2009. So we had no such distractions, thankfully, at that point in time. हमें बात करनी होती थी तो हम अपने फ्रेंड का नंबर हमें याद होता था हम उससे कॉल करके याद
आजकल तो
करके
किसी को नंबर याद
चलाते थे.
नहीं बिकॉज बस फोन है तो बट मैम राइट नाउ
हाँ.
like which social media handle is your favorite like you just love to use it
No,
apart
I use see LinkedIn is for professional this thing.
that is
Instagram is for all the photos that I keep, I like to doll up and just be a
okay
little girly sometimes. So Insta is
stalk
for that.
others on
Facebook is
Instagram or
for the
doing
family.
what? You are just
Sorry?
stalking others on Instagram or doing what just posting your pictures
You should go to my handle, you'll see. It's all selfies only. It's really funny.
yes
I'm absolutely obsessed by myself. I think that's the problem.
yes
No, but honestly, the truth
and
is that
everyone
on Instagram, yeah, on Instagram, I like to follow a lot of accounts which are very interesting. So I keep posting my photos as well. But otherwise, they are my friends who are there, so I like to see what they are doing. There are a lot of lawyers on Instagram,
yes yes
and the international lawyers. I feel the kind of thing that they post. There's so much to learn. So Insta is for that, and Facebook is primarily for family wala update. कि अच्छा आज मेरे पापा का birthday, आज मेरी मम्मी का birthday, like that. So no pictures and all of that. I
Ma'am,
also
like,
have a
which is your
yeah
favorite page on Instagram? Like होते हैं ना जिसको
favorite page
post
on
मिले you just
Instagram.
tweet every day कि बस इसका एक पोस्ट आज का मिल जाता है तो दिन बन जाता है कोई ऐसा पेज
Oh, there must be quite a few, but if you ask me just now, नहीं याद आ रहा मुझे कोई.
नहीं याद
I'm
आया
old now. I don't have uh, dimag left. But
okay no
there is this latest page that actually I like Brute a lot. Then there is this, that cartoon that comes of Pritish Bhatt. He does cartooning for BBC Hindi. I like his cartoons a lot. Then I like this handle that my sister follows and I've started to follow, which is called I think Lipstick Politico or something. So she has these. If you follow it, you'll really like it. I've started to actually like it so much. She has these Indian women and sari, and then sometimes it's like this. This is which is happening. So it's very cute. I really like that.
so
You
ma'am
might want to follow that.
you are very active
And yeah,
no so sorry I was just asking the same thing yeah
sorry. No. Go ahead, please.
so you are very active on LinkedIn right so I just want to check one thing do you remember how many followers you have how many followers you
I
have
think about 21,000.
yes I just checked it right now
20,942 probably.
yeah I just
It
checked
must
it
be
right
some
now
21,000 also.
I checked it
And
right
that is because somebody actually asked me in the morning that, do you
okay
realize that you've got more than 20,000? Somebody just told me. So I remember it by that.
this
But
whole
thank you. See,
session
now
I
I know.
checked it. I was like, I'll just ask ma'am whether she knows it or not. And what about Instagram? How many followers you have?
Oh my God, 1,951, I think.
You remember this, ma'am?
Sorry, I have my phone over here.
And in WhatsApp, how many family groups you have? Are you that kind of person who is
Family
every time posting good morning pictures, good night pictures? Ma'am, don't check it.
No,
Don't
people
check it.
send me very religiously a lot of my family wise. No, we have only one family group which has my immediate family, my parents, my brother, my sister, and that's about it. Other family groups कोई नहीं है मेरे ख्याल से they know that I am not that kind of a person also. Second, good morning, good evening messages किसी के भी आते हैं ना, तो I always read it because they always have that very intelligent type की कुछ ज्ञान होता है उसमें.
ज्ञान होता है.
हाँ, और कुछ लोग मुझे सुबह जय श्री राम और जय पता नहीं कौन कौन से भगवान के भी भेजते हैं, तो मैं उनको भी बड़े मैं लोगों को रिप्लाई जरूर करती हूँ. So unfortunately that's a problem with me. So even certain people I don't reply every day, but कुछ लोग जो हैं उनको मैं कर ही देती हूँ. Just that. Very bad habit, but
that's great, ma'am. That's great. So to wrap up the whole session, some advice or suggestion for the viewers, or what do you want to say?
See, I want to say that this is even though we are in a pandemic situation, this is going to get over very soon and things are going to get much better. And I think opportunities will also increase many-fold once this pandemic is over. So there will be a lot of work and there'll be a lot of opportunities. We just have to sail through this period which is there. When I was doing this 40 under 40 thing, then Cyril Shroff was there, and he said that, this is going to take at least 1 more year for the pandemic to roll off, which this discussion was in September of 2020. So I think he was referring to September of 2021. So maybe the next year is going to be slightly difficult for all of us, but just remember that it's going to get better and there'll be a lot of opportunities. So just don't get disheartened. Keep doing it, and this is the best time to learn. Don't just do your academics. Learn a lot of things that you can now that you have a little bit more time, because I think traveling time has been saved for all of us. I have at least realized that so much travel time has been saved. So if we can utilize that time into maybe learning new things, that will be helpful.
And what suggestion you want to give to the batch of 2020 or the fresh graduates?
I don't know. I think the best suggestion that I will give is that this is just going to get over. Like, everything else, this too shall pass. And once it goes away, you will only remember that it was just a phase which went away. And also 2020 graduates, please do watch this video, which is called as Everybody Wears Sunscreen. And this is a song by Baz Luhrmann. Do listen to it, because I think that has the best advice for everybody, be it a 16-year-old to a 60-year-old. So yeah.
That's great.
I'll send you the link, by the way. Damini, you can maybe share it on your...
Yes, ma'am. The time we'll upload this video on YouTube, we'll share the link as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, ma'am. That was indeed a wonderful session with you. And thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Like, thank you so much.
Damini. It's just an amazing job that you're doing. I mean, I see that you're smiling so much. It's such a rarity these days to have people genuinely smile. So I kind of smile too much, so I can actually appreciate someone else who's smiling as much as I am. And also keep smiling, and you're doing a fabulous job. All the viewers, just don't get disheartened with what is going on just now. Just know that this is going to get over, and life is good. We'll all be fine. It's just a phase.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.